What happens when you take 5 of the world's greatest GT cars and put them head-to-head? Today, we're comparing some of the most powerful and luxurious Grand Tours money can buy: the Audi R8, Mercedes-AMG GT63, Aston Martin DBS, Bentley Continental GT, and the Ferrari 812 Superfast. If you could take just one of these machines on the ultimate road trip, which would it be? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just have an answer. First off, let's talk about performance. The heart of any Grand Tour is its engine. These 5 beasts take wildly different approaches to performance: naturally aspirated V10s, twin-turbo V8s, and monstrous V12s. Firstly, we have the Audi R8, powered by a 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10. The R8 is a dying breed. With 602 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time of 3.1 seconds, it's lightning fast, but more importantly, it delivers a screaming soundtrack that only a high-revving V10 can provide. However, compared to the others, it's the least powerful here. The AMG GT63 takes a different approach. With a 4-liter twin-turbo V8, it pushes 630 horsepower and a monstrous 664 pound-feet of torque. Unlike the rest, this is a 4-door performance sedan, meaning it blends supercar speed with daily drivability. Then we have the Aston Martin DBS, a proper 5.2-liter twin-turbo V12 that pumps out 715 horsepower. It's heavier than the rest, but it makes up for it with pure, raw torque. Think of it as an old-school muscle car, but dressed in a designer suit. The Bentley is all about effortless power. The optional W12 engine produces 650 horsepower, launching this luxury yacht on wheels to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. But it does so in complete silence, no drama, just smooth, relentless acceleration. And finally, we have the king of naturally aspirated V12S, the Ferrari 812 Superfast. With a 6.5-liter V12, a jaw-dropping 789 horsepower, and a 9,000 RPM redline, this car is an unfiltered driving experience. It's the fastest here, hitting 211 miles per hour, but also the least forgiving. And so, if you want the most speed, the Ferrari wins. If you want effortless power, the Bentley is king. For pure drama, the Aston Martin and Audi take the crown. But if you want a balance of brutality and usability, the AMG GT63 is hard to ignore. Power is one thing, but how do these cars feel on the road? Are they razor-sharp track weapons, or are they made for effortless grand touring? The R8 is the most user-friendly. Thanks to Quattro all-wheel drive, it grips hard through corners, and its lightweight chassis makes it incredibly responsive. If you want a car that feels like a supercar but behaves like a daily driver, the R8 delivers. However, the Mercedes holds some surprises of its own. Despite its size, the GT63's rear-biased AWD system and 4-wheel steering make it shockingly agile. It's also the best at long-distance cruising. You could drive this car across continents in total comfort. Now here's where things get interesting. The DBS is brutally fast, but also the most aggressive to handle. The steering is heavy, the ride is stiff, and the rear-wheel drive makes it tail-happy. It's thrilling, but also intimidating. The Bentley is a totally different experience. It's the heaviest here, but the ride quality is unparalleled. With adaptive suspension and AWD, it glides over the road. However, it lacks the same sharp feedback as the others. The 812 is the wildest car to drive. It's the lightest, most aggressive, and has rear-wheel steering that makes it incredibly nimble. But here's the catch. It demands respect. This is not a car you casually cruise in, it's a full-on supercar experience. To summarize, ROR effortless driving. The Bentley wins. For sharp precision, the R8 and Ferrari take the crown. But for an exciting mix of brutality and control, the AMG GT63 and Aston Martin are hard to beat. Now, a Grand Tourer isn't just about performance, it's about comfort, refinement, and how well it carries you across long distances. After all, what's the point of a Grand Tour if it's not actually comfortable? Step inside these cars and it's immediately clear. Not all cabins are created equal. While they all use premium materials, some prioritize performance, while others wrap you in total luxury. The Continental GT is without question the most luxurious interior here. You get quilted leather seats, real wood trim, a rotating infotainment display, and an overall design that feels like a private jet. Bentley didn't just design a car, they built a rolling 5-star hotel. The Aston Martin feels very bespoke, very British. Hand-stitched leather, Alcantara, and carbon fiber accents make it feel special, but it's definitely sportier than the Bentley. It's a luxury experience, but with a sharper edge. Mercedes blends old-school luxury with high-tech innovation. You get Napa leather, aluminum trim, ambient lighting, and a fully digital cockpit. It's the most futuristic here and the most customizable, letting you set up the perfect long-distance driving atmosphere. Step into the 812 and suddenly the luxury takes a backseat to performance. There's no massive touchscreen, no fancy comfort features, just pure driving focus. It's not about lounging in comfort, it's about feeling connected to the road at all times. The R8 falls somewhere in between. It's driver-focused, like the Ferrari, but still has enough refinement for daily use. The virtual cockpit display is intuitive, and the materials are high quality. But it doesn't have the same sense of occasion as the Bentley or Aston Martin. So, which one wins in the luxury department? If you want to feel like a VIP, the Bentley Continental GT is the undisputed champion. But if you prefer a balance of sportiness and refinement, the Aston Martin, DBS, and AMG GT63 are strong contenders. A true Grand Tourer needs to make long-distance cruising effortless. Some of these cars were designed for comfort, while others demand your full attention at all times. So, which is the best for actually eating up the miles? The Bentley is the ultimate road trip machine. The suspension soaks up bumps, the cabin is whisper quiet, and the seats feel like first-class airline pods. If your goal is to drive from one country to another in absolute comfort, nothing here does it better. A close second. The AMG GT63 may be a high-performance beast, but it's still a luxury sedan at heart. Air suspension smooths out the ride, and there's even massaging seats to keep you comfortable over long distances. The DBS is surprisingly stiff for a GT car. It's designed for performance first, comfort second. You'll feel more of the road, but that adds to the driving excitement. If you don't mind sacrificing some ride comfort, not bad for a supercar, but the low ride height and firmer suspension mean it's not as comfortable as the Bentley or AMG. It's a daily drivable supercar, but still a supercar at heart. This is where the Ferrari falls behind. The ride is firm, the steering is ultra-sensitive, and long highway cruises can be tiring. It's the best for pure driving fun, but if you're looking for relaxed, long-distance travel, it's not the best pick. For pure comfort, Bentley wins. For a mix of luxury and performance, MG GT63 takes the lead. And if you don't mind a stiffer ride for the sake of excitement, Aston Martin. DBS is a great choice. So after diving deep into power, handling, luxury, and comfort, we've seen that each of these machines excels in its own way. But now comes the big question. Which one is the ultimate Grand Tourer? Well, that depends on what you're looking for. If you want pure speed and emotion, Ferrari wins. If you want comfort and luxury, Bentley dominates. If you want brutal power with everyday usability, AMG GT63 is unbeatable. If you want a car that balances luxury with aggression, Aston Martin DBS is the way to go. And if you want a daily drivable supercar, Audi R8 remains a fantastic choice. Thinking about what a GT truly stands for, we've therefore decided that, in our opinion, the AMG GT63 is the ultimate Grand Tourer. But now, it's your turn. Which of these legendary machines would you pick? Drop a comment below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more our content.